While working on the Zelda documentary, I've really gotten a glimpse into the passion and lasting reverence that people have for the NES and the NES era games. While digging up relevant relics from my youth for that documentary, I stumbled on something that I really didn't expect to find. Most of it was water damaged, and a lot of it was just lost to time and weather, but some still existed. You see, when I was 7 years old, I spent the end of the school year designing a game. I sketched maps, I plotted the game mechanics, I invented monsters and these fantasy locations, and I even used an old Casio keyboard to write this score. When I was all done with it, I sent a letter to Nintendo of America asking them to send me all the things that I would need to make my video game. I waited every day that summer for the delivery truck to show up, and instead I got this little form letter. Of course, at 7 years old, I was crushed. The whole concept for the game just sort of was lost to time until I went out to the shed and found it in that box, a treasure trove of nostalgia. And it occurred to me, why not attempt to actually bring that game to life? So I have set out to continue a quest that I began almost 30 years ago and actually see this game come into existence. And I'm not talking about a game in the style of an 8-bit Nintendo game or like a retro-themed game. I'm talking about creating an actual new NES game. Goes in a cartridge, playable on an actual Nintendo Entertainment System. I started to look into the logistics of it, and the programming language is archaic and very unintuitive, and the system has ridiculous limitations. And despite my experience developing games, this is like nothing I've tackled before. This might actually make an interesting subject for a documentary too. The process of developing a game for the NES, the active homebrew community, even a potential resource to help others with the same aspirations to develop an NES game. So this is just a sort of a preliminary video to sort of gauge people's interest. If you'd be interested in this project's development or playing it when it's done, or even just want to learn how to program a game for the Nintendo Entertainment System, let me know. Thanks so much for checking this video out, and I'm really anxious to hear your thoughts.